Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Episode 6. Big Talk with Chris and Gregg. This is Chris.
This is Gregg.
And, man, we just got done releasing our 3-part movie soundtrack series.
That was awesome, man.
I know. I got a lot of feedback on that one. You know, a lot of people, you know.
Me too, man. Big laughs, big fun. Movies we missed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, we couldn't talk about everything. You know, we had to cut it off at some point, or we could just do a podcast just about movie soundtracks because we'd probably do like 20 episodes.
We could.
Yeah. But we won't. But we might do one later.
Maybe in the future.
Yeah.
Back to the Future.
Okay. Well, we just want to thank everybody that's, you know, been listening to our podcast and everybody that's been following us on Instagram. Our Instagram page is at Big Talk CG. Give us a follow, comment, like, dislike us, whatever. As long as you're doing something, we're happy.
No way. Follow us, man. We'll show some pictures.
Yeah, none of this follow us just to unfollow us because you don't like us. None of that. You can also get a hold of us email, bigtalkcg@gmail.com. We read all of those and, you know, all the 12-year-old go through them, I guess.
All three.
So we also want to let everybody know that we are now not only available on Podbean, which is who we use to host our podcast, but now we are also available on Spotify.
Yes.
We are available on iHeartRadio.
Love it.
We are available on Amazon Music.
Nice.
And Audible, which is owned by Amazon, but some people may use one or the other.
All right, man.
You know, hopefully more places to come and more sites for people to stream and, you know, give people that availability so no matter what they're using, they can use it. Don't have to, you know, use what we're using.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, everybody, for listening on any platform for us. We appreciate this a whole lot.
So I guess enough of that, enough of the formalities. Let's go ahead and get to our topic for this episode 6. Sexy 6. Gregg, what are we going to talk about today?
You know, I wanted to start this episode of rock shirts, wrestling shirts, rock in fashion. You know, shirts in fashion, really. How we, you know, for me, wearing a band shirt is saying I want to promote them. I want to say something about them. I like them. I love them. I saw them in concert, that type stuff. You know, stuff like that going on.
Okay. Well, it's you know, you get a lot of you see a lot of these people now walking around with their rock and roll shirts, you know, and you're like, I don't know, do they even listen to that band?
Yeah.
So is that kind of what you're saying? Is you're seeing people wearing these shirts and they're just not fans, and that's kind of, you got a bone to pick with that, or what?
I think I got a bone to pick with it, but I'm not sure they're fans, even though you never know today if you like the band or don't like the band. Mm-hmm. But I think wearing a shirt from a band that you really don't know stinks. But that's just me, because
it stinks.
I'm always one of those guys that, you know, if I'm wearing a shirt of a band, I want to say it, like, yeah, say it to the world that I love this band. Or for me, I wear a lot of wrestling shirts, so I want to say, hey, this is the wrestler I'm into, you know, face, heel, in any situation where he's a past wrestler or if he's a current wrestler. Mm-hmm. I love it. I got to show out to the world that I'm following this guy, or, you know, hating this guy, or whatever I'm doing.
Yeah. Are you one of those people that, like me, that if you see someone wearing a shirt of a band, do you give them the good old name 3 songs from that band? Do you give people that?
You know, in my mind, if I kind of want to have a good time and laugh at them, or, you know, with them, I'll try to say that. But I usually just say, hey, man, I like your shirt, you know, to guys or girls that I've seen wear different things. Hey, man, I like your shirt, or hey, your shirt's cool, you know, blah, 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 that type of stuff. I'm more of that that guy than, you know, question them, do you like that? Because, you know, they can turn around on me and, hey, name 3 songs from Motley Crue. maybe I'll stutter one day. I don't know. I don't remember no songs. Who's that band?
No. I don't think that's gonna happen.
No, that one won't.
I am one of those people. I remember one day, I was out. I was at work. I do work, and this girl was walking by. She was probably about my daughter's age, maybe a little bit older, 13 or so, wearing a Poison shirt. Poison, one of my favorite bands. She was with her dad, and I'm just working, and I go, "Hey, I said, "Hey, what's your favorite Poison song?" And she just looks at me like, "Oh," and her dad is just laughing hysterically. Like, he probably said the same thing that I say to my daughter. Hey, if you're gonna wear that shirt, someone's gonna ask you if you know that band.
Yeah,
and you better know it,
right?
So
one of the jokes that me and my wife used to pull on the kids when we'd go to shows is, you want to wear a rock shirt, you want to wear a wrestler shirt, you better know something about them. If you can't name 3 songs, then you can't wear the shirt. That kind of fun stuff. And we still do it today. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I pull that. I used to pull that on my sister-in-law, Alex. Love her to death. Love her to death. She used to wear this Metallica shirt, and I would ask her, name 3 songs. Oh, Chris, I don't know any. And then I'd see her, and then next time she's wearing it. Now it's to the point where she wears it, and she's like, don't even ask. She preempts my question. Don't even ask. So I don't.
She doesn't go out and say, Inner Sandman, 1.
No.
Nothing like that? Master of Puppets.
No. What you bring it up, people wearing these shirts that, and you go to like a party or a gathering, and you may not know someone. You see one of the things that, you see someone, they're wearing a wrestling shirt. Oh my God, they're wearing a Shawn Michaels shirt. I love Shawn Michaels. I'm going to go talk to that person because it looks like we may have a similar interest.
Yeah, correct.
And then you go over to him and you're like, oh, Shawn Michaels, yeah, he's great. What's your, some of your favorite matches, or you like wrestling? And the worst thing that can happen in that situation is, I don't really watch wrestling. I just wear the shirt because I like it.
Yeah, right.
So that it's kind of like, that's fraudulent. You can't be wearing that. And that's a beef I have.
I agree with you on that. I'm that way too. Come on, if you're not gonna know anything about what you're promoting on your chest or your back or your, you shouldn't be wearing it. But that's, it's fun stuff. It's not saying that you can't do it, or I would do that all the time and I don't know bands, or, no, just, wear what you dig. And if that's what you want to do, great. But for 2 older guys, we don't do that. We wear things that we know and we want to love and spread out into the world.
We're old. We're ornery. We're just out looking for trouble. We're out looking for a bone to pick with someone, I guess.
Now, there have been times that I've been at work and I've seen people wear, shirts that come up. Sometimes young girls, and it's My Chemical Romance, which is one of the bands I definitely love. And I've seen live and, promote them and do everything I can to say My Chemical Romance in the world. And I've seen them with their Black Parade shirts, and I kind of laugh. And sometimes I like I said, I'll walk up and say, yeah, I like a shirt, or, your shirt's cool. I've done that too with people with independent wrestling. A few months ago, there was this girl that had a Chris Hero shirt, and I went up to her and I said, I just want to tell you, I love your shirt. Chris Hero kicks ass. And she laughs and she looks at her husband or boyfriend and goes, wow, somebody knows, this type of wrestler. And I was like, heck yeah, I'm a, longtime wrestling fan, and I definitely love independent wrestlers like Chris Hero back in the day. And it was fun. It was actually good to see them smile that I recognized what they were wearing or promoting on their, on their chest or something like that. I like to do that. I like to point out people and, hey man, your shirt's cool. Hey man, that's great. Hey, that's this, that type of stuff.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, it definitely it can be an icebreaker under any situation, even just like what you're saying, like, hey, yeah, nice shirt, or hey, you like Iron Maiden? They have a picture with like Power Slave on it. You're like, oh yeah, that's my favorite album, Power Slave. And you can start the conversation with anybody, anywhere, at any time. And when they just aren't a fan, it's really just kind of.
But when they give you that look and say, I don't know anything about it. This is my dad's shirt. This is my mom's shirt.
Yeah,
I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Like whatever.
So we were talking earlier about this, and you brought to light something that I had no idea about. And so there's the Kardashians. Tell me what you were.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous, guys.
So this was about 5 years ago, two of the Kardashian sisters decided to release rock shirts or vintage rock shirts, such as like Rolling Stones, Ozzy, Motley Crue, Slayer.
Some of their favorite bands, I would obviously assume.
Or rappers
Yeah,
like
right.
Biggie Smalls
Yeah,
or
right.
Tupac. And then they imposed their picture or their sister's picture on it, and they were selling it at vintage rock shirts or on their own website.
So these shirts were like originals, like old shirts, or were they just like newer versions, or were they old ones that they were printing their face on?
I think they were new ones that they were printing their face on, or doing stuff. It was one of those things, and it was where Biggie Small's mom chimed in and said, "Hey girls, that's not cool, printing my son's image, and having your sister's face over it, that type stuff."
So they were taking like a shirt, like you had said, like Biggie Smalls, Rolling Stones, Zeppelin, whatever, and then they were like doing like a print of their face. Over the top of
or
the
their
logo?
sister's body or something over that. Yes,
like, so you could still see both images.
Correct.
And then what, they were selling them?
Correct.
Wow.
Selling them, I think, on their own website, but I think trademark kind of caught up to them really fast and said, take it down, or you can't do this. Do you have rights from these people? And obviously they said no, and they're done.
I bet they had some fans who were just gobbling those shirts up at ridiculous prices.
Probably.
I don't know.
Talking about shirts, I don't think I've ever mentioned it before, but I used to be an intern at a radio station here in Los Angeles, KNAC. I think they started in '86 and they ended in '95, but for those years, KNAC was basically like a rock band. So they would sell shirts, radio station, here it is. Instead of not just giving them away to their fans, selling them, at rock shows, or selling them, by mail, and people had them. There was a time I was an intern back in the '80s that they used to say that KNAC shirts were in Japan, where they're just as big as a rock band as this little independent station in LA.
Are you saying KNAC is big in Japan?
Yes, I was saying KNAC was big in Japan, even though they probably couldn't hear it. But just knowing that bands had shirts that said KNAC, like it would be. I think the one I saw was Skid Row. Sebastian Bach had a shirt. It was KNAC, and he was in a club in Japan, and people were going wild there.
Yeah, you bring that up. It's like I'll talk specifically about KNAC, but you'll see it's always kind of cool when you see rockers wearing shirts from other bands, in concerts or photo shoot. But we can talk about that in a minute. But I'm gonna have to go through because I got some old like Metal Edge magazines, Circus magazines, and stuff like that. I'm gonna go through them because I can guarantee you there's a picture in there of one of these guys, from a rock band wearing a KNAC shirt in there somewhere. Because I remember seeing that a lot. And I grew up in Washington, so we didn't have that station. That was before the internet, before they were streaming anything online. You'd be like, KNAC, that's probably good. That's a radio station. I bet it's awesome. I bet it just plays that music.
It was, dude. It was the best. If you were into rock, new metal, heavy metal, it was the station of Los Angeles, man. At the time, there was Pirate Radio, which was more the glam rock type stuff, or more of the hits than playing deep cuts. And, there was a rivalry, a battle, this and that. They were at their show. We were at the show, doing stuff like that. Like I said, I was intern. I was one of the phone foxes there. So I would answer phone calls. The KNAC, yeah, I want to play, Guns N' Roses. I want you to play Motley Crue. I want you to play, Ugly Kid Joe. Yeah, it's all good. It sounds good. Write it down, hand it to the DJ, see if he wanted to play it or he wanted to throw one in there and stuff like that. But there were many times that we would go to, say, a show where the Scorpions were playing that night, and then all of a sudden, Pirate Radio was there on one side, and KNAC was on the other. Who could pass out stickers? Who could, come meet us, and we'll, give you a sticker, or we'll give you a T-shirt or something like that. So I remember those days were fun, but everybody had a shirt. I mean, there were so many awesome shirts out there with KNAC because it was just very classic style, which we will put on Instagram. I'll put a couple of pictures.
Oh yeah, we got lots of rock shirts. We'll get them all laid out. And hey, Hey, didn't you say a couple episodes ago you had a shirt you were gonna get a picture take, like a warrant shirt or something?
Yes, I still haven't found that shirt. I haven't digged far enough that I know it's. I know
it's in the back.
Yeah,
the back wadded up in like a box that says "Do not open."
Probably yes. I still need to go through that.
Something I just brought up was about rock stars wearing other bands' shirts. I always thought that was kind of cool when you'd be going through, even if you go to a show or you're going through one of these old 80s rock magazines. Guys, if you've never looked at a old school 80s rock magazine, Metal Edge, Circus Magazine, Hit Parade, or stuff like that, get your notebook out, your Big Talk notebook. I got mine out right here. Here it is right here. I got my Big Talk notebook so I can take my notes. Google those magazines. Take a look at these images, dude. Obviously they don't relate well to now, the way they're dressed and the way they look and stuff. But that's the way the times were. But those were awesome magazines. But you very often would see like a picture of like John Bon Jovi wearing like a Scorpions t-shirt,
right,
or probably more like a Skid Row shirt because he kind of was back in that band. But that was always cool because then you'd be like, oh, maybe Skid Row wasn't hitting huge yet. John Bon Jovi's wearing their shirt, Skid Row. What is that? I got to go to the record store. I got to find out who they are. Or, stuff like that. I always thought that was really cool when rock stars were wearing shirts of other bands.
But so to say, nowadays where hip hop artists are doing that, they're wearing their Metallica shirt, they're wearing their Rolling Stone shirt, they're wearing their, Guns N' Roses and Led Zeppelin, different stuff like that. So you see artists of today wearing stuff, or even punk shirts, Black Flag, or the Misfits, the Dickies, Vandals. I mean, something like that. There's a lot of that going on where other genres other artists are singing or wearing that as fashion, that type of stuff.
And what do you think of that? It's all good, or
it's all good. I mean, Lady Gaga said she likes Metallica and she listen to it. Now she's a big artist. If she really does on her personal time, hey, you never know. I mean, Metallica released the Black Album with a ton of artists. I think like 22 or 56 different artists playing different songs that they want. There's Mexican artists playing Inner Sandman. I mean, I've heard some of that stuff. And hey, man, if they've influenced at some point, and they said Metallica was an influence on,
for sure,
on my life. Or you're a country artist, Metallica was great, and I might not sound like them, but I could appreciate them as musicians, and here's my tribute to them.
Yeah, we're not saying they very well all be fans of these bands or shirts are wearing. I remember back in the day there was a big a love affair between hip hop and metal. I remember like with Public Enemy and Anthrax, they both coming out saying they listen to each other's music, and Anthrax used to always wear Public Enemy shirts.
Exactly.
And you never saw Public Enemy wearing Anthrax, but they did collaborate. They made that mix of Bring the Noise back in the day. But you never know, but you better know your stuff if you're going to be wearing that shirt.
Yeah, that's what we.
You never know, but you better know.
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite shirts that you have in your collection?
Right now, one of my favorite ones is Motley Crue's last show here at Staples Center. They released a shirt. It was Motley Crue, and then it had Kings, LA Kings, because it was at Staples Center. They did a shirt. That's one of my favorites.
It was like in the style of the LA Kings logo, or
kind of. It had some hockey sticks and two skulls, and it said one side said Motley Crue, on the bottom said Kings. And it was like a couple of hockey masks, kind of like Theater Pain. One was smiling, one was laughing, one was.
I've seen you wear that shirt.
Yeah. Right now, old style Y2J shirt, Chris Jericho when he first came out as Y2, Y2K, Y2J. That shirt when he released it was one of the big ones. Suplex City, Brock Lesnar. I'm not a big Brock Lesnar fan, but just saying Suplex City and they showed it on like going to a freeway underpass, it blew me away and how fun that was.
Yeah, that's shirts like that, like the Suplex City, or even like touring shirts. When you can go to those events and Suplex City, Los Angeles, it'll say like it's got the it looks like a freeway exit sign, almost kind of like, or city limit sign, something like that. Those are only a lot of times available if you go to the show at that specific location. I have one of my shirts as an Iron Maiden shirt. it was I forget what tour it was, Somewhere in Time or something like that. But it was I think they were playing at the Forum, but they had a shirt that was exclusive just to like that show at the Forum. I was like, dude, I gotta buy it. I'll take a picture of it. I'll throw it up on Instagram. But yeah, that's always cool when you can get something that's specific to an event. It's only available here at this location, kind of a thing.
You know, I think we were at that show, but not knew each other at the time, because I was at that show too.
I think,
and I got the same shirt.
I think
I was gonna talk about that.
I'm pretty sure we were there. We knew each other.
Okay.
Was that we drove down with like Scotty and Rebel? So we we're old. We can't even remember that we went to a show.
Yes.
Shout out to Scott and Rebel R.
What's
up, guys? That was dude. Perkins may have even been there too. I don't know.
Dude, no, he probably was.
Probably was. Maybe Nestor. What's up, guys?
Yes. What's up, guys? Yes, dude. Totally. I was there at that show. Iron Maiden always had these awesome shirts, man. You want to talk about rockin' fashion? The Iron Maiden shirts. Eddie was just huge. I didn't have too many Iron Maiden shirts. I did pick and choose the ones I loved. Trooper was one of them. Mm-hmm. Sign of the Trooper, or the Flight of the Icarus one, where flaming, and then the shirt that you said made in rocked you in L.A. or something, and that was fun. I think I still have that one today. How about you? Any standout shirts that you still have?
Yeah, man, I got, I have when I can, I try to buy shirts when I go see like a concert and stuff. So I have a bunch of those. I have like the Iron Maiden one that I just told you about. I have a Van Halen shirt, and I can't. They're in my drawer. I'd have to pull them out to get the years, but got a Van Halen shirt when I saw them live. Always trying to get the shirt from the concert. One of my favorite shirts that I have is a wrestling shirt. Goes back to the '90s when WWE was still WWF. I have an old school, original, classic Austin 316 shirt.
Nice,
which is probably one of my favorite shirts that I have. I don't wear it often because I don't want it to wear out. I don't want it to wear out. I don't want to have to keep washing it. It's going to get thin. Another shirt, this one I'll put up on Instagram. It's a shirt I'm actually wearing right now. It's a Poison shirt, and it's the one with the wolf on the cover smoking a cigarette. And a quick story about that, hopefully quick, it may be long. There was this store in the mall where I grew up, Capitol Mall in Olympia, Washington, called International Imports. And in the back, they had up above on the high end of the wall, right below the ceiling, all the shirts they were selling. They had a number on them, each one. And man, I would go in there and just look at these shirts like, oh man, Metallica, metal up your ass. Oh man, that's so cool.
Right.
Oh man, Motley Crue. Oh, that's awesome. Poison, cool. And I'm obviously by now everybody knows I'm a big fan of Poison. It's like, man, I got to get that shirt. They were like $20, dude. Back in the 80s, dude, $20 for, a 12-year-old or however old I was at the time. That's $20 is a lot of a chunk. So I saved up my money. Dude, this is hilarious, dude. So I finally went and bought the shirt. Wore it. My mom flipped. She did not like the shirt.
Whoa.
For some reason, she did not like the shirt. Maybe it was the cigarette smoking. Maybe, I don't know what it was. She didn't like the band or... So she said, we're taking that shirt back to the store. So I had to go back, take it back to the store. The store had a no refunds policy. My mom blazed through that and ended up getting a refund on that shirt. So I always had a love affair with this shirt.
Oh, okay.
And finally one day I saw it on eBay. So I was like, I got to buy this shirt. I got to get it. I don't remember how much I paid. It wasn't something extravagant or crazy, probably, $20-$30, something like that. But yeah, I had to get it. The original from the 80s. Could be the same shirt. It could be the same shirt that I bought. You never know, dude.
That's a good story with your mom, man.
Man, so this shirt, this is a sentimental shirt. This one means a lot to me. I don't wear it often. But I got a couple. I went through a phase where I was buying a lot of old vintage rock shirts. Some of them get expensive. If you go on, the Bay and where people are selling these shirts, they can get bidding wars. You can get some of these concert shirts you'll see from the 70s, dude, hundreds of dollars for some of these shirts. So that's not really my thing, paying that much. But if I can get a good deal on something vintage, I love the vintage, then I'll go ahead and do that. But yeah, this is one of my favorites, my Austin 316. I got an old John Cena. The champ is here with the spinner belt. The
Okay.
one with the
Yeah.
belt's printed. At the
You haven't
bottom
worn
of the
that in a
shirt.
while, man.
Haven't worn that in a while. That's one of my favorites. Yeah. And then, you know, some newer stuff. I got a Macho Man. I got a Jericho, Young Bucks. I went and hit Hot Topic. They had that buy one, get two free deal they have.
Yeah.
So I bought some, you know, like a couple wrestling shirts.
You don't buy
there.
anything for the girls, man?
I told her to look, see if she could find anything. She didn't like anything. But,
No.
And, you know, always adding to my ever-growing collection. You know, Iron Maiden's in there. You know, Van Halen, like I had said, and AC/DC, stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I was gonna say when I was younger and going to concerts. I don't know if you're familiar with this, Chris. Is they would do a lot of bootleg shirts at concerts. So one of the big things I would say in the 80s, maybe the 70s, was like the baseball style jersey. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there would be the print, and then you would have the black sleeves, and then the white front, and then, you know, the show.
Yeah.
The band. If you found outside the concert, it was a flip flop. So the shirt, the baseball jersey would be white on the sleeves and black on the inside. Mm-hmm. And, you know, had print of the band. You know, and sometimes they would print not a newer picture, like the latest picture of the band, like from this album. It would be a misprint, and it'd be like last year's picture of the band on it and stuff like that. But it was still cool. They had still different ones. And those were always cool to find. They were hard to find, but when you got one of those shirts, those were pretty rad. Like, oh, you went to the show, but you didn't have $20 to pay for the regular
30
shirt
or 40 or whatever. They're getting crazy.
We're talking about the 80s.
Okay.
And then
that was crazy for the 80s.
And $10 or $5 for the black one with the sleeves, even though you may have like a different print, or say the city you're from, like Los Angeles, you know, San Diego, San Francisco, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But those are always fun to find, and I know they had some guns. When I was younger, two concert shirts that I used to love but never got a hold of was Journey, when they played the Rose Bowl with Aldo Nova and 2 or 3 other bands, and the shirt was just awesome because it looked like the beetle from the Journey logo was breaking out of the Rose Bowl stadium. Mm-hmm. And then the other one from 1984's Van Halen, how they had a picture of each of the guys on it. I mean, it looked bitchin'. Those were just, and I think it was the tiger with the sunglasses. And it was breaking out in 1984. Those were the shirts that I used to like. Man, you had to go to the concert to get them.
Yeah.
You couldn't buy them at local Hot Topic, you know, Forever 21, stuff like that. No, it was one of those shirts like that.
If you, that's what I'm saying is, you know, the shows we've been to, if there's something that's specific to this show on this date, I'm going to buy, if I'm going to buy any shirt, I'm going to buy that one.
Right.
The one that's like, yeah, I was at that show, you know. Then you see someone else that has it like, oh, you were at that show. Wasn't it awesome? You know, once again, that icebreaker kind of thing, you know, common interests. And you bring up that bootleg shirt thing, and I know we've seen this. We were probably at all these shows I'm going to talk about right now together. But when Universal, the amphitheater was still there, I remember going to a Scorpions show, and you know you had to walk that path back to the parking lot, and there were guys in there selling, you know, their bootleg shirts, and you look at them, and it's like the print it's like 2 colors of print, and they're just not lined up just correctly. Like, oh man, they're like $10. You're like, well, $10 for a shirt, just a plain shirt's okay price. Now I can get one with this print on it. Okay, I don't remember ever buying one. But I do remember that specifically. The other case I remember, and I think you were at this, I think this was the first Crew Fest out in San Bernardino.
Yes.
And there were these people, they were walking around, dude, they looked like they had stuffed down their pants, stuffed in their shirt. And what they were selling was bootleg shirts through the parking lot. You know, the grass field, everybody was, we were, you know, pre-partying, tailgating before the show. And I remember seeing what, you know, they start pulling it out of their jacket or whatever, their pant leg. And they're like, hey, here's the shirt, you know, it's $20 or whatever. Yeah. And I remember one guy just all of a sudden running through the parking lot, like booking it. And like 2 seconds later, dude, you see security chasing after him. He all looks like this, like Stay Puft Marshmallow Man with these shirts shoved down his pants and everything like that. Just getting caught trying to sell the bootleg, dude, because that's eating into the profits for the bands. Like, you know, they're not getting any cut of that.
What's your view on that one, man? Bootleg shirts.
There's a market for it. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of owning the bootleg shirt.
Me too.
But I don't know. guess I'll get on to, I don't want to go on too big of a tangent, but I don't know everybody's financial situation. Maybe people can't
that's what it
afford a
was.
$40 shirt, but they'll get the $15 bootleg one. Okay, that's fine.
Exactly. That's a difference. So,
The
band's inside, you want to get it, but it's $40, $50. I've even seen $60 for a shirt. And you're like, really? And then you go outside and these guys have an okay version of it, but for, $10. Is it good? Is it, do I like to do it? No. But hey, if I want a new shirt and I really like it, what the hell? Who's going to stop me?
Yeah. So, it guess depends on what view you look at it, I don't know. Well, you got to do what you got to do to survive, I guess.
Correct.
I don't know everybody's situation, but yeah, we keep going back to it, but that event specific stuff is just the greatest. Do you have anything else besides? You said you had the Brock Lesnar, you had the Iron Maiden. Anything else you have that's an event specific kind of thing, or
event specific? Other than the last Slayer, I definitely had to get one of those. $40. I got that one. That was cool.
And you also said the Motley Crue one.
The Motley Crue one, yeah. Rey Mysterio, I like right now. A lot of independent wrestlers. I'll do. PP Ray was one of them.
Oh yeah, PP Ray.
We have that one. There's a couple. Brody King.
Mm-hmm.
I met him once. Loved him. Loved following him and got a shirt from him. To Bateman, who's in Ring of Honor right now. I got a few of his shirts. I've seen him a few times. I like the independent stuff. I like to support these guys because I thank them, and I know they're on the road or going from city to city trying to make a little bit of money for themselves. Probably not making a lot at wrestling, but hey, maybe on the merch I can help you. Put gas in your
Gregg's
car.
got his dialed in thank you speech ready to go at any
Right?
moment that he sees.
Right?
Oh my God, it's Chris Hero got my speech ready. Like, it's in the
speech
bank,
ready.
dude. It's in the bank.
Yes, I always do. Yeah. I like to thank artists, man. I really do. I don't know if people, I'm sure if you're an artist and you meet somebody, even our sports entertainer, wrestler, see these guys and they do something for the love of it, or they're doing it for money. And then they, sometimes it just, somebody come up and say, hey, thank you for watching me. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for buying a shirt. Thank you for supporting me in some way.
Yeah, and it's nice, especially like you had said, those independent shows. Not only is it cool that, you see someone else wearing a shirt from like an independent wrestler from an independent promotion or smaller promotions, it's, you recognize that, or someone else recognizes there's always that connection between two people, which is always cool. But also help support these guys, because these guys that are wrestling on these independent circuits and these independent promotions, they're not doing this for a living. And it's always good to support them. When the first time when we went to see PP Ray, and oh man, we got to meet Pretty Peter Avalon, and got our picture taken, bought a shirt. Support. Yeah, you got to support the local independent wrestlers and local independent artists that are out there trying to eventually make a living doing it for something they love. Because if you're doing it and you're not making a living, you're doing it because you love it, and you want to help these guys out.
Yeah, or they would talk about bands going from city to city playing clubs or not stadiums, and then these guys would hey, to make it to the next city they have to sell their merch, meaning, hey, you know what, hey, we got 200, we sold X amount of shirts, we got $200, let's fill up a tank, feed our bellies and move on to the next city.
That's real
that
too.
Type of, yeah, that's definitely real. And hey man, I like supporting those guys. I'm happy to help out, buy a shirt, sticker, or whatever it needs to to do that kind of stuff.
One thing you had showed me a picture of earlier today when we were just kind of shooting the shit. People, it was a tie-dyed, shirt. It was purple and white or purple and black, and it had the Metallica logo and a picture. I couldn't really make out what the picture was, but the Metallica logo was not done in like the classic Metallica, with the sharp edges and stuff like that. It was like balloony and glossy looking, shiny metal almost looking.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is just like a fashion shirt. What do you think about that kind of stuff? Because I don't know, obviously, if is Metallica saying, yes, we like that, go ahead and make that shirt and print it because they just want to make money? Or do you think this is something someone else is just doing? And I wasn't a big fan of the shirt. I doubt anybody that's wearing that shirt is a Metallica fan. A Metallica fan is not going to go, oh, that's a good looking shirt, I'm going to buy it. It's not for me. I don't know. I kind of thought that's kind of the direction our conversation on that was going.
Oh, definitely. Do I think that these guys, this Metallica, because they have trademark, so you can't, as far as we know, release anything without them getting some type of cut. Hey, we're gonna use your, Forever 21. I'm gonna use them. We're gonna release a couple of shirts, and then we have this is the 2 Metallica type shirts they're doing. And Forever 21 is I used to take my daughter there to shop. I used to laugh because I used to see rock shirts there also. But for them, it was a new thing where they kind of take 2 shirts and put them together.
I hate that.
So like there's 2 different ones. I've seen 2 different. One side looked like Guns N' Roses, and the other side said Metallica. Or they had 2 Def Leppard shirts. One side was like Pyromania. One side was Hysteria.
Was it like stitched, or was it like that tied up the middle or button or?
I don't want to say stitch. I think maybe that's the way they printed the shirts because it didn't look like they cut the shirts. Maybe
they were like printed.
They were printed.
That's cheesy.
Yeah, it was real. But I've seen that in like I said, in fashion where people are wearing them and doing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. The fashion, just for fashion. I think you got to support. Whatever you're wearing, you got to. It's kind of funny. I was thinking about this earlier. An argument. Someone that's on the flip side could say, well, if you're wearing a Hurley shirt, do you have to be participating in those sports? Do you have to surf? Do you have to skate to wear Hurley or O'Neill or any of these other companies? Volcom, you see people wearing all these company shirts. Nike, dude, you do not play sports. Look at you.
Yeah.
Why are you wearing Nike? It's like it's a totally different thing. You know what I mean? Like all those other brands that are, it's like wearing the company's logo and all that stuff. That is a fashion thing. Whereas what we're saying is on this other side, we're supporting these wrestlers, we're supporting these rock bands. These are who we like. Show the world our likes, our personality, get that bond with someone else. That's what we like about the shirts. And, we're not up on a soapbox, saying if you wear these shirts, you're a bad person. We're just saying this is what we like. This
is what we do.
This is what we do. And it's, eye rolling, I guess maybe might be the best description when you see someone wearing a shirt and you're like, oh God, dude. Yeah. Right? You're not listening to
Nirvana or Danzig or Tool or Misfits or something like that. Yeah. When was the last time you went to a Vandal show? I don't know.
Who?
Yeah. Who?
Yeah, it's on your shirt. Oh, it is.
It's my dad's shirt.
It's my dad's. He made me wear it. I'll let my daughter go through my drawer. She's like, I want to wear one of your shirts. I'll pick one out. No, not that one. Nope, not that one. That one's vintage. No. I did let her wear one of my vintage Poison shirts to school.
Did you?
And she was like, she was the one that told me the story afterwards. And I said, when she picked out the shirt, I was like, you better know some songs. She has my records in her room and she'll listen to the stuff. She knows the band. And she wore it to school. And one of her teachers said, oh, wow, Poison, I didn't know anybody wore those shirts anymore. Not dissing the band or the shirt, just saying, oh, wow, I haven't seen that, because he's probably about my age, a spry 45. And she was thinking to herself when she was telling me the story, she was thinking to herself, oh, my God, I can't remember any of the songs. I hope he doesn't ask me. Please don't ask me. And she had made up in her mind like a name of a song. She just had made up some kind of song. And she was ready with a wrong answer. But so, man, you gotta know the music, babe, if you want to wear the shirt. He didn't ask her. So I was like, okay.
She lucked out. One of the things too is every time I've passed by Target or Walmart or a store like that where you go and you see rock shirts in there, So I've been to Target before, and that's when they have a rack of the T-shirts for guys. Some of it's pop culture, some of it's So you see the latest Rolling Stone one, Led Zeppelin, Beatles. Beatles is a bit about popular one. Stuff like that. So you see these type of stuff, and it makes me laugh. I'm not gonna say I've never bought a shirt like that because sometimes I wanted that classic Van Halen shirt or one of those classic AC/DC is another big one that I don't think we haven't brought up yet.
Yeah.
I think AC/DC and Motorhead, Guns N' Roses are the ones that I see the most on that kind of stuff.
Some of those shirts that they sell at like those big chains, it's like those bands are so huge. How can you not know any of their songs. Beatles, give me a break.
Right.
You know, Zeppelin, Queen. Queen's really big right now. Howard, I mean, that's you know, that almost falls on the spectrum of everybody knows at least one or two songs of these bands. I would hope.
Well, going back to, I mean, a lot of that. You see David Bowie too.
Yeah.
You know, like
I'm not a big David Bowie fan.
Okay.
So I
But I mean,
I know. So I don't wear a shirt. There we go. I don't wear a shirt.
But if you saw if you could recognize the Ziggy Stardust, you know, logo or something like that, right? You'd be, oh, sure, okay.
Yeah.
You know.
And if I was a fan, you know, then that's like we said, you know, pounding it to death. I'll go talk to someone, you know. Oh, like you said, oh, I love your shirt.
Yeah.
You know, love your shirt. You know, it's always that approachability, you know, kind of showing who you are.
I had a guy on Tuesday at work. He had a suicidal, and it was old school suicidal. So I knew he was old, you know, a longtime fan. I said, dude, I love your shirt. He was like, thanks, man. No one ever says anything about these shirts anymore. And it was like, you know, dude, cool. I go, you know, fans here, you know. I'm not just a pretty face. I love rock and roll.
Yeah.
You know.
Suicidal Tendencies, they always have pretty cool shirts and hats and stuff like that. And my daughter stole my Suicidal Tendencies shirt for a sleeping shirt. You know, kids like to wear that big baggy shirt. Yeah. I think the older one was wearing it first, and then she passed it down to the younger one. And it's just funny, dude, because the picture is like a skull. It's like a side view wearing the suicidal hat, smoking a joint. Then on the back it says the huge Suicidal Tendencies logo. And just to see these little kids like walking around the house in the shirt, it just makes me crack me up sometimes.
You know what I was gonna say about that too is I've seen it where they do a lot of pop culture where they have baby onesies. Yeah. Onesies of, you know, AC/DC Back in Black or Ozzy Osbourne or something like that. That makes me crack up too. Of like, I don't have any grandkids, but when they come around, I'll be happy to slap on a Bret Hart onesie or or Undertaker onesie or AC/DC onesie. You know. Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, another way to show that personality. You know, oh, the parents are rockers. All right. Oh, they like the wrestling. Cool.
Well, I don't think it's gonna be the parents. It's gonna be the grandparents or wherever you could at Grandpa's house
or whatever. Yeah. You're not gonna quiz the baby.
No, because the baby will say goo goo gaga. Right. But you know how like I told the story last time of my daughter realizing music, like, how do I know these songs? Mm-hmm. Same thing. And the grandbaby's gonna know all the good stuff.
Yeah, dude. I was speaking of that. I was driving the kids home from school, you know, recently, and my daughter, the oldest one, is sitting in the back doing Hair Nation on at Sirius XM. That's what I'm listening to, and she starts like singing one of the songs. I'm like looking at her like, how do you know this song? She goes, oh, just from hearing it. I'm like, whoa. It was probably like Bon Jovi or Motley Crue or Poison or something like that. You know that I'll be playing anyways, but. I was like, oh, wow, that was a pretty awesome moment.
Yeah.
Actually. I was like, man, you know this song? May have been Scorpions. Now I think it was Scorpions. Wow. That's a proud father moment.
Right.
You know? Nothing prouder than seeing your influence rub off on your kids, whether or not they like it or not. Correct. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So this is what you're listening to. This is what you're growing up. You know? My parents, they made me listen to this. They throw this T-shirt on me.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah. It's nice to see him want to wear it now, though, you know? You know, like I said, you know, she likes to wear the shirts and stuff like that. So that's nice. Tell her you got to know the bands though. You got to know them. So.
You got to know the bands. I think that's our big thing. We got to know the bands.
I think that's the point we're driving home is we're not a fan of the fashion.
No.
That's what this whole conversation basically boils down to. We're not a real big fans of just the fashion side of the rock, wrestling, shirts. You know, it's about the support of the band, the artists you like. Don't just wear it because it looks cool. Or it goes with whatever you're wearing that day. You got to know who you're wearing.
But I think, like you said, that's our point of view. But if you're the person that kind of goes out and picks a shirt because they like the color or they like the, you know, the skull, the name, or they saw AC/DC once on a movie, that's up to you. And wear what you did.
Oh, yeah, wear what you want. It's not going to make me not like you.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
so,
I'm not.
We're just talking about these two old fogies talking about
old.
What we do on our day-to-day basis.
Yeah, and our eye rolling and, you know, conversations we have each other and what we've seen and, you know, oh man, I saw this person wearing this and I went and talked to him and they didn't know anything. It's just like, oh man, you know, that's kind of what we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely.
That's just our point of view.
Exactly,
you know?
our point of view.
And that's why you can go to the Instagram at Big Talk CG. You know, let us know if you agree with us or don't. You know, that's what this is all about. We want to hear from the Big Talk Nation.
There you go,
That's you
the
guys,
nation.
the Big Talk Nation. And we want to hear you guys, what your opinion is on this. You know, do you agree? Do you disagree? That's what, you know, this is all about. Two-way street. It's not just us telling you what we think. You know, let us know what you guys think too.
Exactly.
We'd love to hear from you guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. Is there anything else you want to add into this? Anything else we haven't covered, or anything that you wanted to elaborate on, or you?
I got a quick story for you.
Okay,
To end it,
Gregg always has the best stories, guys. If you haven't listened to, especially our first episode, debut albums, Gregg tells great stories about the first time he's seen bands, giving people his thank you speeches and
Right.
all these kind of things. Guys,
So-
go back and listen to that episode. But Gregg's got great stories. Go ahead.
This is one of those stories that's also one that's gonna make you laugh, and story about myself and why I am this way today about promoting shirts and doing it. So I was in grammar school. I'm going to say 8th grade. We had I went to a Catholic grammar school. So we had a uniform, navy blue pants, white shirt. And that's kind of like the uniform we had from head to toe. Every once in a while, we'd have a free day, or, you know, wear whatever you wanted to school day. So I was, you know, finding my way into rock and heavy metal and being pigeon-toed, only listen to metal or rock, blah, 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 blah. I didn't have a lot of shirts. So I decided to get my allowance and go down to the Music Plus, because Music Plus used to sell T-shirts along with, you know, music cassettes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was looking for shirts to get, and I wanted the Ozzy Osbourne Diary from Madman shirt, but I thought, you know, craziness with satanic influences, probably not the best shirt to wear.
Catholic school.
Probably not the best shirt to wear to, you know, school that day, or free, you know, dress that day. What I found was Rush Signals, which is it was a circle, had a fire hydrant and a dog sniffing it, and it was from Rush. That was I think the only shirt, one, they had my size, two, that I didn't know. But the only thing was, I didn't know a lot about Rush. I wasn't into Rush. I knew of Rush. I knew Tom Sawyer. I knew 2112. I knew Moving Pictures. But I didn't know a lot of the artists. I mean, I could not really tell you I know 3 songs, or I knew a lot of things from them. So I wore the shirt. I bought it. I wore it to school the next day. And that was the only day I felt like a poser, because I didn't know a lot about Rush. Didn't, you know, barely knew the guys' names or anything. So that was the day I felt like a poser, and I walked around, Gregg listens to rock. Oh, he has a Rush shirt on, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, man, as a kid, you know, I remember going like, man, I don't know, why am I wearing this shirt? I don't even know who these guys are, or didn't know a lot about them. And that was the only day I felt like a poser, where I still don't want to feel that way today. And that's why if I wear a shirt, I know something about the band. I know something about the artist. I know something about the wrestler. I know something about what I'm saying to the world.
You didn't learn much that day. You were preoccupied with like, who's gonna ask? Oh, nobody asked me. Nobody asked me. I feel like a poser. Oh my god! Wait, what did the teacher talk about? Oh my god! You know?
No, and I don't think we were into that, because, you know, we're 12, 13-year-old kids. So, but that was one of my stories of feeling like a poser and not knowing what I was doing or wearing at the time I'm promoted on my shirt, on my chest and stuff. Fun stuff.
You learned firsthand,
of course,
how you don't wear a shirt.
How you don't wear a shirt, or you don't know about the band or the artist of the shirt, man. Good
Love
stuff.
it.
Any last things about you?
No, you know, just not really. I think it, you know, hit everything I wanted to talk about, and talked about some of my favorite shirts, and, you know, concert shirts and stuff like that. I really like the concert shirts with if you can't get the one that's specific to the date or the location, you get the one that has the list of everywhere that they've played on that tour.
Yeah.
And you always look for the city that, you know, Los Angeles. All right, man. They played in Los Angeles. Sweet. I'll get that shirt, you know, or wherever. You know, whenever I see like someone wearing a tour shirt and like they're in front of me, I'm reading like, Okay, what year was that? Okay, now you start looking through all the
Oh,
cities. And
okay.
It's like, oh, where did they go? And you're like, what? They skipped over? They didn't go to L.A.? Or, you see them go to these little, or, you'll see like Concord, or then maybe they'll hit San Diego
Bernardino.
or Long Beach, which is
Yeah.
still technically L.A., but, I like to read the dates and the locations of the concerts when, following someone with a concert shirt or something like that.
Cool.
I'm a nerd.
It's all right, man.
Well, I think that's going to do it.
All right.
Do it for us. So guys, hit us up on our Instagram page at Big Talk CG. Give us a follow. Give us some likes. Give us some comments. Spread the word. Big Talk Nation, need you to spread the word. You can also hit us up at email, bigtalkcg@gmail.com. And we're on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, anywhere. We're trying to make it easier for you guys to get to us.
That list is growing, and we love it.
It is growing ever so much, and hopefully we'll be streaming everywhere.
There you go.
Soon. But thanks for listening, guys. We'd love to hear from you, and that's going to be it for us.
All right, man. See ya.